What up, brawlers? Welcome back to Throwing Hands. It's me. It's Jarrett. Um, Great card. Lots happened, and Jarrett and I are just gonna hop right to it. Couple things on the prelims. Let me share my screen real quick. All right. Hyleton Almeida is a problem, and you can't tell me any differently. He beat the brakes off Shamil Abdurrahimov, and the fact that he probably weighed in at what 120, dude. He 220 rather. We had a flyweight going up at heavyweight doing some damage. That'd be impressive. But he could cut down to light heavyweight anytime he wanted. But he's beasting people, man. What do you think?
Yeah, that was super impressive. And super excited to see more,
Exactly. I'm very intrigued. Terrence McKinney got knocked out
Yeah.
cold. That was bad. I mean, Ismail Boafim, he's the brother of a guy who fought Gabriel Boafim. They're both very good, but McKinney's susceptible to those flying knees for some reason. I don't get it, but it's MMA. He just got beat, man. That's really all there is
Yeah.
to it.
Couple combos open you up and then crazy knee.
Yeah, that was
Awesome.
gnarly. Nothing too crazy of note here. Thiago Moises lost to Costa. RoboCop got knocked out pretty badly. But this is what we have to talk about. Shogun's retirement fight, like you and I were kind of alluding to, didn't go the way we thought it should. It went the
Yeah.
way Hua should have won in the sense that it's his retirement, he should get the dub. But
Yeah.
when it comes to skill and age, Ihor Potieria, he beat him bad.
Yeah.
And I think DC made the point, like, it's one of those fights where who won't be tempted to come back after it.
Yeah. Yeah. It was definitely a bad way to go out. I mean, one of the greatest light heavyweights ever. They gave him a young killer, man. It was pretty brutal.
Yeah, and Hua got emoted on.
Yeah.
Sadly,
Yeah. I saw that.
that was brutal to watch, but it's the game. Um, all right, I'm gonna let you take away Paul Craig and Johnny Walker because I know you like this fight a lot.
Yeah, Paul, that's just it was one of my things that I touched on that, that grappling, if he couldn't get to it, it was going to be a problem. We both thought that. And he didn't at all. Walker just absolutely manhandled him. Another scary, crazy TKO slash knockout, and it was just brutal, man. Those hammer fists just crazy. Like me and you both said, Johnny's so versatile on his feet with his striking, and is possibly a guy 1 or 2 fights down the line he may get a rematch with Hill if he still has the belt. If Hill loses, he probably gets that rematch a little bit sooner, and then he's back in title contention. I mean, obviously that loss does not look near as bad as what it did a couple months ago now on his resume. So definitely to see him back in the title picture soon.
Yeah,
Crazy performance.
yeah, crazy performance. I totally agree with you there. And Johnny Walker took a video in the hotel, I believe, after the fight. He weighed in at the fight. He fought in that fight. He cut down to 205, right? He went into the cage at 235 pounds. That's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, here's what's insane too. Eric Anders, he did something probably a year ago or so, and it was like a week or two after the fight. He fights at 185. He was back up to 235. Some of these dudes are cutting
It,
50
it's
pounds.
it's like Joe Rogan said, it's legal cheating, but when you look at like that, it's if you can cut weight consistently, correctly, and make the weight, in my opinion, coming from a wrestling background, all all the props to you. Like it gets to the point where those guys who are cutting, if you make the weight, it's a win in their eyes. When you get into wrestling, And now in fighting, it's like I can't imagine cutting that much weight and then having a quick turnaround. I mean, yes, they get what, a day off before the fight, but a fairly quick turnaround to cut 40 pounds like they are and still being able to perform at such a high level is just insane to me. I don't know how they do it. I really don't.
I don't get it. I think that's why we're not professional athletes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they probably have like five different people that they're paying, that have input on what they're putting into their body, how they're getting it out of their body, when they can eat, how they can eat. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. Um, this fight went exactly as I expected,
Yeah,
outside the fact that Laura Murphy didn't get finished.
yeah,
But the ref should have stopped it, and her
yeah,
corner should have thrown in the towel.
yeah.
It was um I don't know how Laura Murphy landed 100 significant strikes. That's actually surprising to me.
Yeah,
But Andrade controlled this fight from the jump. She was whenever Laura Murphy fired, she fired back. She was one step ahead, one step quicker. Um, yeah, what do you think, man? This was
I mean,
impressive.
it was, and like you said, Murphy's corner should have said something. Have you seen anything if Murphy said anything? Because like the one thing I saw was like, I don't know if it's real or not. You never know nowadays. But I heard that she was like proud of her corner for not, calling it off. And I'm like, how? Like you got beat down. Like there's a point where you gotta just
Yeah, you
accept
got
it and any more damage.
I 100% agree. And this isn't the first time Laura Murphy's corner has failed her in a sense.
Yeah,
If you look back at the Shevchenko fight, her lead cornerman, whom I believe was her husband, was like, "You're doing great, honey." I'm like, "No, you're getting beat up by Shevchenko.
yeah,
She's not doing great."
yeah,
And that's what gets, people seriously hurt or even killed in combat sports. Just a
yeah,
bad, incompetent corner that
yeah.
although you Lauren Murphy, of I wouldn't in the corner, you don't really want her to stop fighting in a sense. You know what I mean? You wish she could keep going, but there comes a point where you have to be like, well, she's a person and she's gonna get hurt or die.
Yeah,
So
you gotta
got to throw
choose
it in.
that. You gotta choose health over ego. Absolutely. Like it becomes dangerous. And it looks great on paper, getting away with a UD, look at the stats and stuff. Like, wow, how did she not get finished? Like, what a chin. And then it's like, at what cost though, ultimately? Like, what she's probably not gonna fight into again for almost a year in recovery,
Yeah,
honestly.
and she'll be 40 if that's the case.
Yeah. Like,
And she might not recover from something like this.
yeah, yeah.
If we look at the strikes by target, Andrade landed 161 strikes to the head, and they
Yeah.
were almost all flush. Andrade was doing her on her end was doing a really great job of rolling with the punches, but
Yeah.
almost all of those to Lauren Murphy seemed like they just hit the chin, like bang, 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 and that's not a viable career option. Yes,
Yeah.
I find myself criticizing Lauren Murphy's corner than criticizing Lauren Murphy. And
Yeah.
that in a sense is criticizing her because she needs to find people that are brutally honest with her in a corner. Like, do you remember when Deontay Wilder's coach threw in the towel against Tyson Fury in the second
Yeah.
boxing fight?
Yeah.
Although Deontay Wilder like canned him, I think you should be thankful. You were getting beat up pretty
Yeah.
badly.
Absolutely. I mean,
So,
you gotta think for the people in the cage or in the ring, like the adrenaline's pumping, like they might not have thought like, oh, it's not that bad, but then, who knows if they watch it back then and they're like, oh wow, like probably should have thrown in the towel.
yeah.
But
So let's look at the rankings real quick for Lauren Murphy. I mean, not Lauren Murphy. Well, we could look at her too. I can't even really make a matchup for Lauren Murphy due to the fact that she's not gonna be fighting for a hot minute probably.
right,
So if you look at Andrade, so Chikagian's 3, Tyler Santos, that's the fight.
let's go. Yeah.
I don't see any other thing.
Andrade was calling for the rematch with Zhang, and
Zhang Weili.
yeah, and I don't know if that's gonna happen.
I
Like,
can't. I don't see why not though. There's no
yeah,
clear contender in strawweight, and Andrade looked pretty after the fight. So like she she looked great after the fight. She didn't really take damage. So
yeah,
um yeah, that's but some dude who looked handsome after the fight was Gilbert Burns, man. This
yeah,
guy.
yeah. I saw something. He looked like he was running for Congress. I was like,
Yeah, in the presser.
yeah,
Like this dude got the job done quickly. He just took it
yeah,
to the ground and did his thing.
yeah.
Dude, he's so good.
10 strikes. I mean, it's who do you give him next? Who do you
Colby.
give next? Who wants Colby? But,
I think Colby will do it in a main event.
okay,
He won't do it for 3 rounds though, because he knows that if he gets out of the third round, that's his fight.
yeah,
Colby will be like 5 rounds, and I'm like, and I can't disagree with him.
yeah,
He deserves it. I mean,
yeah,
Gilbert Burns ran into Colby, and he's like, he's a cool dude, man. And people need to realize that's a character to sell fights, and it works.
yeah,
So
yeah. It does.
he was a
I
great
thought
wrestler in
that,
college, man.
oh yeah,
But let's talk about Neil Magny, man. He's how old is he? He's getting pretty old, sadly. He's 35, a little younger than I thought. But at this point,
I was going to say cool.
he beat he got beat up by Shavkat. He beat Max Griffin. I think Max Griffin was his last win. And Max Griffin's getting old too. Dang, everyone's getting old. Who does he fight? That's my question. Because I think the leech would do some
Brutal.
bad things to him.
Yeah.
Chiesa would wrestle him, and it just wouldn't be fun. Michelle Pereira would. I mean, that dude's a freak. He can do it anywhere, but I think you just got to give him someone unranked to get him back on track if he really wants to.
Or
You know,
they're gonna do the typical give him a young prospect that bangs and just keep giving them tough fights that get these guys that they want in the rankings in. Like,
yeah. Or if Sean Brady's just looking for another win,
yeah,
that could be it to get him back on track. But that they should, whoever makes that fight should lose the promoter license, because that wouldn't be nice. That wouldn't be great. All right. Davison Figueiredo versus Brandon Moreno. Moreno got the won the quadrilogy. Left hook put Davison's right eye just shut, and he won the fight. Got to give it to him, man.
yeah, it did exactly what I need to do. I mean, two finishes against him too to win the quadrilogy. Like, it's Deepson's gonna go up now, and where do you go next with Moreno? Who gets him next?
Yeah,
I don't see him losing for a while though.
yeah. Let's take a look at that. Alexandre Pantoja. He I think he got it next. Moreno said he'll give it to him, something along those lines. But Davison Figueiredo, he's gonna move up to 35. Shoot, man.
That's
There's so many fun fights. I think you just got to throw him into the top 5. I don't care. Make it happen. Let's say, I hope Piotr Jan doesn't lose to Marab. But if that happens, him and Piotr Jan
would be awesome.
Mint.
Awesome.
Mint. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Winner of Cheeto Sandhagen, he could really compete up there right now, I think. And I honestly, I think his poor performance was he's 35 and he's cutting to 125.
Yeah, absolutely. You become a healthier fighter. You get quicker, then get a little bit more power behind your punches, get your career back on track. This isn't a major setback for him. So maybe going up to 135, we're gonna have a lot of fun stuff to watch and be excited for. So I think that's the great outcome from that fight. I think me and you talking about that's what we both wanted to see. I think we both wanted Moreno to win. I thought Figgy would win, but I'm not upset at all. I'm very happy.
Yeah,
Moving
I like
on.
them both personally.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah. Hopefully, flyweight will open up a little bit again because of this. But yeah, all right. This is bad, man. This was really bad. Uh, Jamal Hill set a new light heavyweight record for most significant strikes landed in a fight against Glover Teixeira. Glover clearly wasn't the same fighter after that Yuri fight. He looked slower. He just looked off, and you expect. I hate to say it, but when you're 43 and you take that much damage against someone like Yuri, you come in expecting not the same person, and that's what we saw, I think.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting that at all, though. I figured if Hill got in that many strikes, he was going to be able to put him down. Um, it's a testament to how tough Glover is and has been throughout his career. Um, but I mean, what is that? 240, 248,
248.
248. That's crazy. Crazy.
That's so many significant
What-
strikes. So
Who
many.
who gets Hill next?
Ooh, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So Glover's out the rankings. So Yuri says he'll be back in July or August.
Oh,
I guess his recovery is a little
yeah.
going a little quicker than we thought. I would rather him take a year off
I was gonna
personally.
say, don't rush it. I mean, especially after that performance, like
Yeah, but then again, Yuri's just a different animal. So who knows?
yeah,
Maybe he's on the road. We don't know. It's Yuri, man. But that's the fight we want to see next, I think. But if we're being realistic, I think Magomed Ankalaev should be the next guy up.
yep.
And then
And
the
that's
belt will
who
probably
that's
just change hands again.
yep, absolutely.
Hot potatoes. Ever since John Jones left, I'm telling you,
It
it's
is.
just been hot potato.
It has. It has.
It's gone to Blachowicz, Teixeira, Yuri, now Jamal Hill. Four light heavyweight champions since September of 2020.
Yeah.
So that's what you have. That's insane. But yeah, let's talk about Glover. The dude is a legend. Won the belt at 41, I think 41, 42. Really good. Legend. If you don't know, he missed a chunk of his prime and probably all of his prime, I think, due to visa issues, and he couldn't get to America to fight in the UFC. So he, was fighting in the large Brazilian promotions. But he really, he finally got that belt. I know light heavyweight isn't as stacked as it once was, but he winning the belt at 41 regardless is amazing. And if he looks back on his career, he's like, oh, I should have done this. He shouldn't. He did everything he could, I think.
Yeah. Absolutely. I saw a thing. He's been ranked since rankings in the UFC have came out. Like that's crazy. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's a good point. So I think Dustin Poirier, RDA, one other has been ranked. Has are still fighters that have stayed from the rankings and are still in the rankings. So I think Glover's the only one to have never left the rankings.
Yeah.
So because how it worked back in the day was you're only you can only appear in the rankings in the division. So if you leave featherweight and go to lightweight, you get removed from the rankings. I'm pretty sure. I think that's how it worked. So, Dustin left, RDA left, technically. So, yeah, man, that'll do it for the review. A couple things. Jamal Hill has been medically suspended for half a year due to a broken nose. So that's just right in time for Yuri or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
Luke Rockhold is a free agent now. I thought he retired. I think it would have been in his best interest to stay retired due to his chin. But I don't know where he would go. A PFL, beat up some people there.
So many options nowadays. You can go make a buck boxing a random YouTuber, man. Go for it. Go get a bag and then officially retire again.
Yeah. Let's talk about some power slap.
Oh my
Never thought I'd say
gosh.
that. But Eric
Yeah.
Spicely, he's a UFC vet. He said, your first fight in Power Slap is 2 to show and 2 to win. $2,000 to show and $2,000 to win.
Oh my God.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
here's what I'll say. Here's my thing on pay when it comes to mixed martial arts and all that. Could they get paid more? Sure. But if they make the conscious decision to sign that contract when they know they could probably get more money in Bellator or PFL,
Yeah.
that's their decision. And I think the money's not what drives these guys. I think we talked about this, but it's to be the best when it comes to 99% of these guys. So
it's addictive to win. Like,
yeah, it's addictive. You make a great point.
Like, that's all the greatest athletes ever have cared about. Like, it's not about the money to them, but you get every once in a while where you get, people think these guys are the best athletes on the planet and all they really care about is chasing a bag, which like you can't hate on that. You gotta respect it. Like if a lot of us, if we had that talent, we'd be trying to make more and more money too. But for the most part, everyone who fights in the UFC isn't in it for the money. They want to beat the best in the sport. And they do. I think the UFC does the best of the best job in that and making sure the best fighters fight the best. Like you look at how backed up boxing is right now. Like what they have how many different belts that they need to unify and stuff.
4.
Like, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, boxing is a mess. That's why I like watching UFC and MMA, Bellator, PFL. It's just organized. The best do have in the UFC. The best have to fight the best. But
Yeah.
if you got Tyson Fury fighting Derek Chisora, who's 40 for the 3rd time to defend his belt, what are you doing?
Yeah. You gotta jump through all these hoops to unify the belts, and it's like, what's the fun?
And what's his face? And if Alexander Usyk cannot sign the contract, Tyson Fury wants to fight Francis Ngannou. Here's the thing with Ngannou, man. He does. You and I will agree happily that he has one-hitter quitter power. But if he goes in there against Tyson Fury expecting a win, that's ridiculous.
He's gonna get pieced up. He's gonna get absolutely picked apart.
Like, yeah, it's gonna be jab, jab, right hand, jab, jab, right hand, jab, jab, right hand. I see it.
Yeah,
he's just gonna keep him at range. Boxing stinks, man.
Frustrating. It really is.
It's so frustrating.
It's frustrating you have such a good fighter leave because of problems, and his answer is, let's go to boxing and cause even more problems than what there is. Like,
I agree.
Now he's kind of acting as like a distraction for Fury too. It's like,
yeah, he's just gonna throw another wrench into boxing, which stinks.
yeah.
Sage Northcutt's back. If you haven't seen that when he got knocked out by Cosmo Alexander, it is one of the most brutal knockouts you will ever see in your life. But he's back. He's only 25, I think. That's insane. He's only 25. 26, rather. Katy, Texas. Jeez, that's insane. Can you imagine going to the UFC at 19?
No, I couldn't.
Hard pass.
I couldn't imagine going out and living in Vegas right now and training, and it's ridiculous. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, you were right. Laura Murphy did say, "I'm glad my coordinator did not stop the fight."
Like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. So Cub Swanson tweeted, a trusty source, I must say. Mad props to Laura Murphy for finishing the fight, but her corner should have thrown in the towel. And this is from MMA Fighting, by the way. She said, okay, so basically every minute I've spent in Rio, especially these 15 right here, has been fantastic. Besides these 15 right here have been fantastic. The fight was a beatdown, but not the way I imagine it. Sometimes things don't go your way, and you just got to learn from it and get better. Jessica is an insanely tough opponent, and I will learn a lot from her. All these experiences, the good ones and the bad ones, make me a better human and athlete. Thankfully, I'm all good. My nose is a little busted up and my head needs rest, but I'll be fine in a few days. I'm glad my corner didn't stop the fight. To be honest, I thought the ref was going to stop it in the second round, but the bell rang before he decided to do so. Either way, I was grateful for the chance to keep fighting. My head knows will heal with rest. My heart will heal with time. It's just irresponsible. What'd you score the fight?
Oh, dude, I like a beatdown, like a beatdown. I don't know. I don't know what. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really know how to do the scores, but
I scored it 30-24.
okay.
3-10-8s.
Yeah.
And all of them scored at 30-26. That was generous.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah. So to all you fighters out there, let's give a couple tips. If your coach is making you fight someone significantly bigger than you are, get a new coach. If your coach is risking you like they did against Lauren Murphy. Now, the Glover Teixeira fight should have been stopped as well, if we're being real.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't Glover's last fight, they would have stopped it.
Right.
I genuinely think that would have been the case. But let him go out on a shield, I guess. But if your coach is doing either of those two things, you're doing yourself a disservice. It's bad. So, yeah, man. That's all I really have. Oh, Yuri says he's coming. That's what he was saying.
Oh, that me. Yeah.
I'm coming. We're gonna play it. Let me find it.
It's something.
Yuri Prohaska. I am coming. I love that guy. Actually, I'll go to Twitter.
As soon as I saw that video, I was like, I'm going straight to the comments. Straight to the comments.
Oh, that was my first thought too. I'm like, where are the comments? I know it. Here it is. Let me share my screen. Oh, okay. I'm getting it, guys. This will be the last thing. Optimize for video. Yep. Okay, we're good. All right.
There we go.
Congratulations. I'm coming. I'm coming!
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
I saw someone said that was the post credit scene to the main event.
Yeah. Congratulations. I love it. I love you. He gets up at 3 a.m. to meditate every day, apparently.
Oh my god.
The dude's just different, man. He locked himself in a room for like half a week to fight his demons. I mean, what hasn't this guy done?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm so mad he got hurt because he's like I think he's like in the light heavyweight division. I think he has the best chance of becoming a champion that can defend the belt multiple times.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Oh,
I think
but this guy,
he comes back and beats Jamal, and then depending on how healthy he can stay, because a significant injury like that can always linger, and I mean, no one wants to see that. So we're just hoping for the best. And he could, if he's healthy, who in light heavyweight could even beat him? Like
Uncle Goliath could with the wrestling, but then again, Yuri escaped almost every situation with Glover.
Yeah, like it's crazy.
Who knows? So Jarrett, I got a proposal for you, man. So we don't have another fight night until next Sunday, and the reason the fight night's at 1 a.m. Sadly, I'll probably stay up for it because I'm too obsessed. But I'm not. I'll probably, I think it'll be in the best interest of my health. I'll go to bed. But so since we don't have that, you guys got a couple weeks without an episode, but I don't want that to happen. So Jarrett and I will discuss off camera what couple videos we could do in the meantime. If you're down for that, Jarrett.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great. So you guys are getting the Throwin hand schedule is still on schedule. But anyway, Jarrett, you got anything else to add?
You guys are getting content. That's what we do.
We are machines. We have been I'm never going to show you guys my anchor, but YouTube is on fire. I'll say that. For our standards, we're not getting thousands of views, but it's looking all right. And we got a couple more subscribers in the last week, which I'm happy. Like a 10% increase in the last week.
Growing.
I wish Anchor would do a little bit better. So go listen to the podcast wherever you are. If you can think of it, it's there. iHeartRadio, I'm pretty sure it's there. Amazon, it's there. Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes. Podcast, iTunes. Yeah, it used to be iTunes. Jeez, that shows my age now. Jeez. Yeah. You know what? I'll tell you where you can find it. iHeartRadio, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Stitcher, Castbox, Amazon Music, Overcast, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, and Anchor, and YouTube. So there's no excuse. If you have one of these services, go listen, go watch. But anyway, that'll do it for us here at Throwin Hands. We'll be back Friday with a new episode. We don't know what it'll be, so we'll keep you guys anxious for what's to come. We'll see you guys next time.